TV ad tech company MNTN is set to begin trading on the New York Stock Exchange Thursday. The company, which provides ad services and software for TV campaigns, saw revenue grow 47% on an annual basis in its most recent quarter, though it still reported a net loss for the period. Joining us now, we've got Mark Douglas, the founder and CEO of MNTN, alongside Market Domination co-host Julie Hyman. Mark, great to see you here. Congratulations on this milestone day for the company. Why was now the right time, and ultimately that pathway to profitability that the street is going to be grading the company on going forward?
Yeah, so I mean, in terms of the market window, now is a really good time. We've been prepared to go public for quite a while. We think it was something important. We drive revenue for our customers, small and mid-sized businesses that entirely use digital marketing to drive their revenue. We enable them to do that on streaming TV. And so they are dependent on us, and we want it to be transparent in terms of the growth of the business, financials for the business. In terms of profitability, on adjusted EBITDA basis, we did $39 million in profit last year. We had record Q1 for the company. And so adjusted EBITDA is kind of the metric that I think a lot of investors use. And we're really confident in our growth. And EBITDA also, as some of the stock-based comp burns off.
Hey Mark, it's Julie here. So what are you going to use the proceeds from the IPO for? What are you focusing on sort of as your next phase of growth?
Yeah, so we intend by the end of the year, half of the people at MNTN of our team are engineers. So we think to be in this market, to compete, to give our customers a path where they can use paid search from Google, paid social from Meta, and use MNTN Performance TV on streaming TV, that takes a lot of engineering technology and a lot of engineering talent to do that. And so we're focused on that. A third of our headcount right now is engineering. We plan to end the year at half the headcount in the company is engineering.
And so as you think about what this would rely on, it sounds like it would rely on there being more ad tiers that come forward. What are your anticipations? What are kind of the rumblings of the ground that you're hearing from some of those major streaming companies who are trying to figure out their own plays for the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, so MNTN, we have partnerships with virtually every streaming network in America, like all of them, and all the smart TV manufacturers, Samsung, LG, partnerships with NBC Universal, Warner Brothers with HBO Max, Paramount with CBS. And so we partner with these companies, and we essentially bring the SMB market channel, I should say, and advertisers into this market, again, by giving them a performance marketing platform. I think increasingly those companies see that as their source of growth. Just like people say in the US economy, small, mid-sized businesses are account for most of the growth in headcount. In this industry, most of the growth is going to come from small, mid-sized businesses, and we're partnered with the entire industry to make that happen. So that's what we're focused on, and when we talk to these companies, that's a big part of what they're focused on also.
Mark, how are those companies doing? I mean, there's been a lot of questions around advertising spend from enterprises large and small in this current environment. There's also been a lot of talk that even the diminished tariffs are going to hit small businesses harder than they do large ones. So what does that look like for you guys in terms of advertising demand?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of performance marketing, where we play digital performance marketing, I think most people actually say it's pretty recession-proof. That even in the worst of times, Google and Meta have done well. We obviously are doing well in terms of the numbers we posted, and so we're not seeing any drop-off really at all. In times where maybe companies are a little challenged, they don't really compromise their ambition. They still want to grow, and the first thing they invest in is any marketing activity that's going to be directly measurable and directly connected to that growth. And that's literally exactly what we do for streaming television, and we're not seeing any issues there. In terms of large global brands, that may be a little different. From what I'm hearing, even there hasn't been any kind of downturn or anything like that. But the companies building their brand and finding the next customer, they're not planning to compromise that. We're partnered with them to make it happen.
And Mark, lastly, I got to say, most of the headlines that mention MNTN, its IPO, other news, they mention your chief creative officer, Ryan Reynolds, who's brought a lot of attention to the company. I know his title is chief creative officer. What does he do for you guys? What does he do there? What role does he play?
Yeah, so he is literally our chief creative officer, from everything like the hardest working software in television to we use our own platform to make small, mid-sized businesses aware of Mountain. He creates a lot of those our own commercials. He's in a number of them, social media posts. He also does sales calls. I mean, Ryan honestly works harder than anyone I've ever seen. I mean, he is committed, he likes to win, and he's not afraid to basically make it happen. So he's essentially leads our own brand marketing efforts, partners with our performance marketing team, and as a result, the vast majority of our revenue comes from inbound leads, companies discovering us through those efforts. And so we're continuing to partner with him. He was at the start of the roadshow for the IPO, and so we're excited, and I think he's excited too.
Yeah, you kind of indirectly reference him within the S1 filing, talking about the global influencer with millions of social media followers to the company's benefit here. I wonder, especially as we think about influencer marketing and where that sits in the broader kind of pie where those marketing dollars are going to go. Some of them will go towards traditional advertising, for which Mountain's going to be looking to see where it can make sure that it's getting that. Some of that's going to go increasingly to influencer marketing as well, into platforms where they know that there's shoppability.
Yeah.
How are you really assessing that mix in the way that other companies are thinking about this?
Well, it actually seems like those two things are starting to merge. I think one of the biggest ads at the Super Bowl was Poppy. It might be called the ad that sold not just the product, but sold the company itself. And it was just filled with some of the biggest social media influencers in the ad. We're seeing a lot of that happen with our customers, where they're increasingly wanting to put social media influencers in their streaming television advertising commercials. Someone that's very close to me runs an influencer agency and has been, she's been showing me a lot of that happening. So we actually think those two markets are potentially converging in some way, and we're actually really excited to be partnering with influencers and they're obviously doing a lot of work on social, but now starting to do that same kind of work, but doing it on streaming TV.
All right, might be the next acquisition target. We'll have to follow up on that one. Mark, thanks so much for taking the time, and Julie.